Hey guys, last week I made a video about my computer and my computer issues, and that the computer's doing well. And I also promised you that I would do a little quick financial video for foreigners or expats moving to the Philippines, thinking you're going to be here permanently and long term. Well, a lot of the times that doesn't happen. A lot of the times you're going to need to get back home. And I have talked to quite a few foreigners here from different countries who up and walked away from their homes, their families, their responsibilities, their financial burdens, so they can make the great escape to the Philippines and enjoy retirement. A lot of times things turn south and they have to go back home. One of the things you need to know is don't do that. I guess it's a plain and simple way of saying it. Just don't do that. I mean, I sold my homes and gave away and sold everything I had so I could come here responsibly. Now, I left America with zero debt, and I actually donated money to help the senior people in my little town if I overpaid a couple of my utility bills. And that way I said, you just keep the change and apply it toward the aged and disabled people. So I left America owing zero debt. And when I moved here, I brought a couple or three credit cards with me, and I used them here. I contacted the credit card companies and said I'm moving here and that it'll be long term, and very nice. They online with me, called them, very nice, and they said, okay, we're just glad you called us, because if we got a charge on your card from the Philippines, then we wouldn't have honored the charge had you not let us know. So I kept 2 or 3 credit cards, and I've used them. I rotate and use them. I was at a point there where I have a ledger book, and I would use the last 4 digits of my numbers in the book and look at the dates when I used them, so I'm using them in a responsible way, knowing that I'll pay them off. In other words, I will, if there's something I needed, and sometimes something I didn't need, something I didn't need to put on a credit card that I could still pay cash for, I still use my credit cards. And the reason I do that is I pay them off before the 30 days is up, and I'm not charged interest. But what it does is it shows the activity on the card is being good and paid in full. And my FICO credit score, which is so important in America, I mean, your credit score is who you are, and it's your almost, you can't do a whole lot of stuff without it. You can't, if you don't have credit, you can't get an apartment. If you don't have a credit card, you can't rent a car. If you don't have a credit card, sometimes you can't get an airline ticket. Sure, you can pay cash, but sometimes they won't, I guess. But your credit score is extremely important. Now, throughout my life, I went through several businesses that I owned and just opted to close them down. But I always kept my credit good there. And when I left America, it was about 725 maybe on an average. And now it's on an average is 825, 850 being the highest you can get. And the only reason I don't have an 850 credit score right now is because I don't have a mortgage. If I would have a mortgage and it would be paid on time, then my credit score should be sitting right at 850, but I don't have a mortgage, so it's at 825, and that's as good as it gets, guys. So the key thing here is don't burn your bridges before you come over here. Keep your credit straight, make sure you take care of your debts, otherwise that's going to affect your credit. And bring 2 or 3 credit cards with you that you've been using for years. Try to use the longest ones that you've had and bring them with you, because you may need that airplane ticket. You may need to get out of the country quick for medical reasons or family problems or issues. So my word of advice is take care of your responsibilities and make sure you've got your, we call that CYA. I'll let everybody figure out what that means. But you need that get out of jail card. You need that ticket. You need to get that ticket home, because I've seen too many people come over here bragging about how they walked away from everything, And I've also heard about a lot of people in trouble because they can't get home. Even though if I had not a dime, I could still go to the airport and get me a ticket, or do it online here, get me an airplane ticket, and I can go home. So that's one of the most important things I can tell you, is keep your financial responsibility in order before you get on before you come here, and be sure you're able to take care of yourself. That's it for now. That we're in the end of April, 1st of May, and it's hot. I just have to simply say it's hot. And I'm pretty much living in my bedroom up here, 2nd floor. I've got a refrigerator here, I've got a CR over here, and I got a microwave in the other room. And so I'm pretty much self-sustained here, and Rose cooks my food and brings it up, and well, just this hot, I just don't go out anymore. And then with the traffic, I have no desire to go to Pecolit. So I'm just enjoying it here. I've found a couple of live stream channels on the internet where I'm able to stream TV, and because I've got 20 Mbps now, on fiber, I'm able to watch the movies. So I'm pretty content. I kind of wish I was in Boal or Pang Lao, but I'm not. But Rose's 11-year-old is here, and we're having a great time bonding. We took a road trip 2 days ago and went down to the floating restaurants again, and got him sa talaba, or oysters. He loved that. So we're still doing something, and we're still enjoying everything as a family, so everything's good. But I'm going to give you a snapshot of my FICO score, and that way you can see where it's sitting and what it's been doing. And where you see it drops down below 825 for a couple of months, that means there's probably a couple of charges there, and I paid them off. Like when I moved here, I had to buy an air conditioning, and I had to buy a bunch of stuff to get moved, and I put some of it on a credit card, and I paid it off in 2 or 3 months because I didn't have that extra cash in my pocket or in my bank account to do that. But I'm going to give you a snapshot of my FICO score, and I'm also going to put a link at the end of this video to show you what happened to a fellow American 8 months ago that I helped get home. I didn't help him financially, but I was there for him and worked with his family, and we got him on an airplane and got him home. And he had diabetes, he was fixing to lose his foot, and it's a pretty bad situation. So my key point is, take care of your obligations, keep those credit cards, and keep your credit okay. Thanks for watching my channel. Bye-bye.